what would you say? So you've gigged a bit in America and you gigged a bit in the UK. How would you compare like the black circuit of here and over there, and how would you compare the mainstream circuit of there to here?
I'm glad you asked the question. So the mainstream over here is still predominantly white male. You know, um, we're having a lot more. I mean, okay, let me split the difference now. So it's now urban, mainstream, and alternative. So the ALTs are basically what are they? The gay community, queer, religious, so meaning like it could be Islamic, full on Christian, church, comedy, Jewish can be also the opposite of non-religious. I forgot what they're called now, where people don't believe in God. What do people call it?
Atheist.
That's it, yeah. So you got atheist comedians, and I ain't gonna lie, they're hilarious because I'm like, oh, is that way you did that church? Oh, did and I'm love them, because they make something so sad. That's what I love about them. Any comedian to be fair, and then you've got disabled comics. Oh, how can I go? Yeah. So you got disabled comics, which part of the alternative as well. But you can also be disabled, gay, and what was the other one? Disabled, gay, atheist.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like layers and layers and layers that can make you unique and stand out from the rest. And that's what I love about this industry. But going back to your question though, with the Black British urban circuit and the African American urban circuit, the African American wins because they begun this thing called Chitlin Circuit back in the 40s, 50s. So during the jazz nights, you're talking about when Red Fox was young, the Greta Soul. So they've been doing comedy for decades. Like I said, light years before us. Whilst over here, you think of the Windrush era when people from the Caribbean came here. There weren't much people doing comedy, like in some clubs. What club? Like there was none of that going on. It was mostly music. You'll mostly hear like calypso, soca, raga, all that kind of stuff going on here before the comedy even was invented. However, that being said, there was comedy implemented within the music, within black music, when the first generation came here. They weren't really stand up until again the 60s. So I think it's Charlie Williams.
Hmm.
And he's not a black man from London. He's a brother from up north. I think was the Yorkshire man.
Yeah, he was on the comedians, and he has
Yeah,
a
the
funny
comedian
story.
playing. And look how many racial like antidotes he put in his stuff. He's taking mickey out of himself. And along came a young man called Lenworth. And look at that, Lenny Henry begun. You see what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. And imagine there could have been a lot more black male comics, but because in this country compared to America, we don't have our own channels or productions as them. It's really tough, and we have our own like clash and wars. Like the what's that Marvel film? Why am I forgetting it? When Iron Man versus Captain America.
Oh, Civil War.
Right. So in this country, we have our own civil war anyway, which stop immediately, but it's not. Africans versus Caribbeans.
Voila.
Yeah, Wahala. Yeah, we still have that now. So imagine if we didn't have that, because remember, Americans don't have that mess. I mean, they have that, the East Coast versus the West Coast, the Bloods and the Crips, all that kind of stuff there, but that's different. They still have that motivation to have their own stuff, their own productions, their own, functions. Whilst over here, we're beginning it, but it's the way we're doing it. It's like, oh, this is by an African man. This is by a Jamaican man. It's literally that sort of nonsense going on. It's like, oh, man, you're black, all right? And you're black as well. Shush your eyes. Come, let's continue working.